The HTC One M7 received raving reviews almost universally. How do you top that? HTC's answer seems to be this, the HTC One M8. So how good is the HTC One M8? Well, thanks to clove.co.uk, we've managed to get our hands on the M8, so let's find out. And for the sake of my sanity, I'm gonna call it just the M8 in this video. Anyway, if this is your first time here, or in case you've forgotten, my name's Ash and you're watching C4E Tech. Let's get started. Thicker and heavier isn't something we expect from a new flagship, but that's what we get here. The M8 is 17 grams heavier and ever so slightly thicker than its predecessor. But given that the edges are tapered and the display being bigger helps with weight distribution, it doesn't really feel all that bulky. The curved back also helps hide the thickness. The M8 has even more metal this time around, 90% compared to 70% on the M7. With HTC opting to go with on-screen navigation keys for the M8, there's empty space with the HTC logo beneath the display. Well, not a fan, it's understandable that components need to go somewhere, and with the stereo boom sound speakers, HTC did not have a lot of options. Maybe giving the end user a choice between on-screen and capacitive keys, like what OnePlus did with the OnePlus One, maybe that would have been a better solution. But then again, that's just one guy's perspective. Do you guys agree? Do you think that would have been a better option? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, the M8 feels premium. The slightly raised buttons and microSD card slot are welcome additions, and so are the smaller bezels. Like I mentioned, the Gorilla Glass 3 covered display is bigger this time around, 5-inch Full HD Super LCD3. This means the pixel density is a little lower at 441 pixels per inch compared to 469 from last year. In real time, it doesn't really make a difference. Pictures are still crisp and sharp, color fidelity is good, and so are the viewing angles and sunlight legibility. Underneath the hood, the M8 is powered by the Snapdragon 801 chipset. This houses 4 Krait 400 cores clocked at 2.3 or 2.5 GHz each, depending on the region you buy your M8 from, coupled with an Adreno 330 GPU and 2 gigs of RAM. The performance is great as evident by the synthetic benchmarks, and it does translate to real-time scenarios like gaming. Intensive games ran smooth, no frame rates dropped, no lag. The boom sound speakers are even louder this time around, offering well-rounded sound output. Probably the best speakers on a phone till date. Audio via the included earphones again is best in class. I'm tired of singing the M8's praises, so let's get to the camera. HTC refuses to budge from the 4 megapixel or rather ultra pixel is enough mantra, and that has both its pros and cons. While bigger pixels mean low light images are great, no purple fringing this time around by the way, the lower pixel count means daylight shots lack detail even when slightly zoomed in. Don't get me wrong here, this is a great camera as long as all you want to do is share a picture on Instagram or Facebook, but zoom in a bit and you would notice a difference compared to pictures taken by the competition. Anyway, now let's talk about the second camera on the back. It's actually a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and this works more often than not. It gets you those cool blur effects. For those of you wondering, doesn't Samsung or even the Google camera offer similar functionality without the additional depth sensor? The difference here is that the effects are much better and you do not have to turn the feature on before shooting the picture. So you can pretty much go to any picture that you shot and you can choose to add the blur or any depth related effects. While it is by no means perfect, it works. Much better than its counterpart on the Galaxy S5. But there is a price to pay. HTC says the depth sensor doesn't play nice with optical image stabilization, and that's the reason why they had to omit OIS this time around. BS or not, you guys be the judge of that. Anyway, no 4K video recording here. 1080p video, as you can see, is pretty good. The 5 megapixel front-facing camera also deserves a mention. The wide-angle lens helps shoot some great selfies. The interface has been revamped and it's a pleasant change. Classifications are handled better. Little things like the ability to save manual settings shows the attention to detail shown by HTC. Additionally, the fact that the camera app along with a few other apps now update via the Play Store. This means HTC can fine-tune it further without having to wait to push out an entire software update. Good stuff. Now on to software. The M8 runs on Android 4.4 KitKat with HTC's latest Sense 6 on top. Sense 6 is pretty understated and not a huge departure from stock KitKat. Smooth transitions and nothing too graphically intensive here. To the left, instead of Google Now, we've got Blink Feed that aggregates news from your social networks or topics that interest you. The app drawer scrolls vertically. Different themes, widgets on lock screen, Air Blaster to control your TV, it's all there. Apps open up quick and there's no lag. Everything's smooth. Feels like HTC has hit the sweet spot, adding their own flavor to Android while not letting that affect performance. This doesn't mean that the M8 doesn't pack in any features of its own. There are a few nifty ones that HTC's added. With the screen off, put the display in landscape mode and hit the volume key to launch the camera. Similarly, with the screen off, double tap on the screen to turn it on, and you can double tap on the screen to turn it off. This works only from the lock screen though. Similarly, you can also slide down to launch the voice dialer, slide left to get to Blink Feed, right to the home screen, or slide up to get to where you were before the display was put to sleep. These motion launch gestures go a long way towards avoiding the awkward maneuvering that's needed to get to the power button on the top right. Anyway, moving on, a 2600 mAh non-user replaceable battery powers the M8 and it produces good results. Around 11 hours of video on a loop. In my time with the M8, I had no issues getting through a full day on a single charge. And that's with some intensive testing, so moderate users should have no issues getting through a day. On top of that, the M8 also has an extreme power saving mode similar to what Samsung offers with the Galaxy S5. It's worth noting that HTC promises 15 hours of standby time with just 5% battery left. So what do we have here? A premium looking phone with the internals to match its beautiful exteriors, an unobtrusive UI, amazing audio, good battery life, and a camera that is good at what it does, but does it do enough? Well, that's a different question entirely. My 2 cents, if you can look past the low megapixel count and the lack of water resistance which is fast becoming a standard on flagships these days, the M8 should be a great phone for you. If you do want to pick one up, you can do that from clove.co.uk or Amazon. I'll leave direct links right below the like button. So that is my perspective. What do you guys think about the M8? Hate that the front camera has more megapixels than the primary rear camera? Love the features, metal, clean interface? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So I guess that pretty much wraps up this review. Hope you guys found it useful. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. And for more videos like these, right onto your YouTube homepage, please do subscribe. So thanks a lot for watching and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Till then, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.